Hi, everyone. Welcome to Forbes Talks. I'm here with Michael del Castillo, the Michael del Castillo, senior editor, all things Bitcoin, crypto. What up?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, how are you? Yesterday
like
was a big anniversary.
Yesterday was a big anniversary, and we celebrated it in typical crypto fashion. January 3rd was the 14th anniversary of the birth of Bitcoin.
Hallelujah.
It's usually very widely celebrated and recognized in the crypto world. There was hardly a peep about it yesterday.
Perhaps not a good year for Bitcoin.
Well, yeah, definitely not a good year for Bitcoin, but we've had many not good years for Bitcoin in the past. I think what was different yesterday was that the news was so big and so overwhelming again that this usually monumental, glass half full moment was passed over almost unrecognized.
Now, are you talking about SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried, being in court, or are you talking about this letter about Barry
all
Silbert?
of the above. Are we talking about Sam Bankman-Fried being in court? Are we talking about Cameron Winklevoss issuing a public letter to one of the most influential people in crypto? Are we talking about the big note from two giant regulators? All of the above.
Well, so let's unpack this a bit. I suppose we could get Sam Bankman-Fried out of the way pretty quickly because he said he's not guilty, so we can move on. This is in some ways the gift that keeps on giving, but is there anything more to say at this point, or let history take its?
Yeah, no. I think it was really important and good for the crypto industry that Sam Bankman-Fried pled not guilty. Not because I think he isn't guilty or is guilty, but because it means that we're going to have the chance for discovery. That means we're going to have an opportunity to see this play out in court.
And unpack what really happened.
And I think perhaps even more importantly than just figuring out was one man guilty, and will perhaps maybe the people that were harmed be made whole. But we're going to get to see one of the original promises of Bitcoin's underlying technology, blockchain, play out in a court of law. What I mean by that is we have been told from the very, very early days that if the traditional financial system operated on a public blockchain or in a similar manner using distributed ledger technology or another similar technology, the next time...
You sound like a prescription drug commercial right there.
Hey! Yeah, I may be too used to saying all that too quickly.
Distributed ledger technology.
There's more than just Bitcoin, and I think that in a lot of ways we're going to get to see a lot of that not really put on trial, so to speak, but proved. We were told that when the next Great Recession happened, we would be able to tell who was to be held accountable more quickly because it would be on a public blockchain. There would be a record.
As opposed to the banks the last time, basically?
Yeah. Like, I mean, when a bank makes a bad loan to another bank, which makes a bad loan to another bank, which makes a bad loan to another bank, not only are you seeing the actual value out there being ballooned compared to the underlying assets, but it takes weeks and months to go through that auditing process. You have to go into a centralized database, look at their accounting files. You have to then go back and retrace that stuff and go again and again. And some of the guilty parties during the Great Recession were never held accountable. In fact, almost nobody served any prison time. We were promised that if there had been a blockchain component, that would have happened quicker, and more people would have been held accountable.
This time will be different.
And I think we are seeing the Bitcoin and crypto equivalent of the Great Recession right now. We are seeing very similar practices being that triggered the collapse. And Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX being such a crucial central
the
party.
Lehman Brothers and all this? Actually, no, because we're talking, nobody went to prison. I have to, that collapse, Dick Fold was not, a criminal in
There
court.
has historically been a disconnect between the punishments that have been doled out by U.S. courts to traditional bankers and the punishments that are being doled out to crypto folks for very similar crimes and alleged crimes.
Is it because of the Wild West mentality that people have around crypto?
Well, it depends on how you look at it. You know, if you wanted to be skeptical, you could say it was because the powers that be want to make sure that they're holding on to the control that they have, and they see the banks as their babies, and they see crypto as the competitors. You know, if you wanted to be a little more glass half full about it, the banking infrastructure is centuries old. The processes are very hardwired. It's very difficult to change. Crypto being so new means that they have more of an opportunity to influence. So there's a lot of punishments that I think have been doled out as warnings.
Yeah.
You know, if we can scare enough people with these punishments early, you know, we can maybe discourage it in a way that is more difficult to do in the banking world.